eggs. They're white, sold by the dozen, and a week later, you have to buy some more. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Overpart Express podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Ned, also known as my dad. On this podcast, we discuss everything golf, from the latest tournament updates to breaking golf news. You'll find it right here. And in today's episode, we'll be discussing what went down at Augusta National at the Masters tournament. Well, Dad, do you want to start us off?
Before we start off, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Titleist, for sponsoring our podcast. I mean, it's incredible what a Masters we were given, what a gift. The second week of April, right after the NCAA tournament, when all the basketball fans are done, they miss it, and then the Masters comes in with the serene beauty, the flowers, the azaleas, the tight lies of the fairways, the approach shots, so difficult to judge. It was just an epic Sunday, and we were treated to a playoff too. And I think the People's Champion won. McIlroy wins the career Grand Slam. What do you think about that, Joseph?
Yeah, definitely. McIlroy definitely has a weight off his shoulders. He's been chasing that career Grand Slam for 11 years now, and it must have felt nice. You could see he collapsed to his knees. He started crying just on the green, and Justin Rose was very classy after his win. Justin Rose, 44 years old now, so still feel for him because he doesn't have much career left, but feel great for Rory, and he's part of a exclusive club now.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Rose, class act. You got an Englishman versus an Irishman, and the Irishman pulled it out. Do you realize that Justin Rose had been in that spot once before in a playoff? Do you know who he lost to? Sergio, yes. Amazing. As they say, the champions get to play there forever, and so I hope Rosie gets a chance to do. He's a class act.
Yeah, and Rory definitely, this was a special Masters to win for him. His caddy, Harry Diamond, he met him at the Hollywood Golf Club in Northern Ireland. That's Rory's home club. They've been friends ever since they were 9 years old, so that was also really special for him. And all the hate and criticism he's faced for him not winning, but at the same time, he's stood up for the PGA through those LIV and PGA Tour battles. So he's also had extra hate and criticism through that. So, like he said in his post-round interview, he was like, "What are we all going to talk about next year?" You want to comment on that, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to, first of all, Harry Diamond, unrelated to you and I. What a controversial thing. Rory McIlroy fires J.P. Fitzgerald, his longtime caddy, in 2017 to kind of hang out with his buddy. I think Harry Diamond on the tour. I don't know if it was a friendship thing or a generational thing. His caddy was much older, but a savvy caddy, and people wondered if he was the reason why McIlroy won for those first 9 years. He was credited with helping him win the first 4 majors, but bold decision, hang out with Harry Diamond. I think I'd probably want to hang out with a younger contemporary of mine as well, share the same music, share the same jokes. Yeah, bold move. You could obviously see how much pressure Rory was under. And he just got married, had a kid. His parents were back in Northern Ireland. I think his parents usually come to tournaments. I hope they're okay, and I know how close he is to them. I know one of your favorite videos is watching Rory chip into the washing machine or the dryer or something like that.
Yeah, when he was 9 years old, he was on the Kelly Show, I believe. He was one of the golf prodigies when he was a kid. At 9 years old, he was chipping golf balls into his mom's washing machine, as he says it. And just incredible precision and skill you could see from a young age. And he's one of the few prodigies in all sports to make it to the big leagues, the big show, including Tiger Woods for golf. Tiger Woods was on many talk shows as a 2 or 3 year old. So Rory definitely was in the media, had a presence in the media since a very young age.
Yeah. I mean, we could have a little trivia with our podcast listeners, maybe press pause and see if you can answer it. But when did Rory win his first major? What was it? And then what were the ones right after? What was the order of his majors? We knew he was missing the Masters. So obviously 2025 was the Masters. But listeners, do you know when Rory won his first major He's a five-time major champion. And in what year? Do you know, Joe, his first major? Which one he won? The Open, the U.S. Open, or the PGA Championship? If you were to take a guess, you got a 33.3% repeating, 33.3 repeating percent chance of winning.
Yeah, I believe it either was the U.S. Open or the PGA Championship. I'm leaning towards the PGA Championship though.
Oh, so close. It
U.S.
was the
Open?
U.S. Open.
Yeah.
2011, the year you and your seventh grade friends were born.
Yeah.
2011 U.S. Open. Okay, then he wins the next year. Do you know what he wins the next year?
The Open. No. PGA Championship.
PGA Championship 2012. Then 2 years later, he wins.
The Open.
Nope. Well, that is true, but not in order.
Oh, okay. He wins the U.S. Open again.
No, the PGA again.
Yeah.
Then he wins the,
Open.
yeah, in 2014. So two in 2014. I mean, can you imagine that, winning two majors, two out of the four majors?
He
Um,
won 3 majors in 4 years, I believe. Is
yes,
that
that's good knowledge. Yeah.
true?
No,
Yeah.
four majors in 4 years. 2011, 2012, 2014, 2014.
Yeah.
So 2011,
Very
12, 13,
impressive.
14. Yeah. I mean, people thought he was on pace to break
Jack
Jack
Nicklaus.
Nicklaus's
Yeah.
records for major wins. You know, Tiger was starting to slough off. If you think about like a curve, like a logistic curve, he went up high and then he's like tapering off. So people thought, oh, maybe Rory could do it. He was so young then. I mean, how old is Rory now? I mean,
34.
is he 34?
34, 35, I believe.
So he's 35. May 4th, 1989. He's 35, so he'll turn 36, a perfect square, mind you. 6 squared for those math people out there. So he'll turn. So what was it in 2011 when you were born? He was how old? That was 14 years ago. So he's 21 when he won his first major, and
It's
then
crazy.
25. He already had four. So people wondered, could he get? Do you know how many Jack has? Jack Nicklaus?
He has seven,
No.
7 or 8, 6,
Sounds like seven, but a bigger number.
9.
Nine doesn't sound like seven. 17. Sorry, 18.
Green jackets.
No, 18 majors.
Yeah, you did. You just said jackets.
Oh, sorry, my bad. How many jackets does he have? That's true. That's probably too
He has
many.
8 jackets. Yeah.
He has six jackets. I think you're right. But 18 majors. So I can't remember. So Rory's got five. Do you think Rory? Let's get back to Rory. Do you think he has enough time to win 13 or more majors between? I mean, the prime age of golf, probably 50. Jack won in 1986, I think, his last major
Yeah.
at the Masters. It was unheard of to win at that age. Do you think Rory can do it?
I think Rory will win one more major this year, maybe carrying that momentum into the 2026 season.
Okay. So that put him at six. I mean, Jack won in 1986 and he was 46, and he was the oldest Masters champion. So back to Rose. Rose only has 2 more years if he's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's later than Jack Nicklaus. So then, if you go 46 is the last time Jack won. If Rory wins the last time at 46, he's got 10 more years. How many majors in 10 years? I guess it's what, 10 times 4? So
Probably
of the 40 majors, how many think he's going to win in the next 10 years?
next 10 years of the 40, 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll put him at 8.
Yeah, I don't think he can beat Jack Nicklaus. It's just that slump of when he kind of fell short to the expectations really put him behind. Like when you're learning golf, many people, you need to learn at a young age to become a professional golfer, like Tiger and Rory. Tiger got off to a hot start and just never looked back. Rory faced some criticism, which kind of affected him.
That's true. So you go majors, you go Nicholas has won 18. Tiger, you know how many Tigers has won?
50.
Yeah. You have sound effect for that? Baba Booey. Very good. Yeah, 15. I mean, can Tiger catch Nicholas, or is he done?
He's done. He can't sustain a full PGA Tour season again, just with all the injuries he's had, and now I'm guessing he wants to spend more time with his family. Probably Charlie help him help him maybe carry on the Woods legacy.
If
But
if some golfer is wearing Sunday red, does that count? And they win the major, does that count as a Tiger major win?
no,
But I do like on Sundays we should go out and wear red always on Sundays and go low. What do you think? Could that be a tradition of ours? It would go
yeah,
well
why
with
not?
this Titleist hat right here with the red. Bring out the red
Or
brim.
or we can wear our Duke blue. Shout out
Let's
to
go
Duke.
Devils.
Yeah,
Let's go Devils. Cooper Flag has yet to declare. Maybe he'll run it back.
yeah.
And I wonder if he can golf. I mean, 6'9".
He Can I interrupt you? He actually golfed on the Duke basketball channel. Him and Neil Bogovich, they played the Duke. They played 9 holes at the Duke course. Cooper Flag was okay. He shot like 8 over or something, I believe. Not a great score, but he's an athlete, so I bet he can do most things.
Cooper Flag, that's amazing. They can play golf. I mean, I like to think golf is good for short people like us. I'm 5'7", 5'8", on a good hair day, as they said in
Sure,
Fletch's movie. But
sure.
Cooper Flag's 6'9". Get this. If you're 6'9", it's recommended, I was just looked it up, to add 2 inches to the standard length of golf clubs. I'm 5'7", and I cut my clubs by 2 inches. Can you imagine? I mean, we have a 4-inch differential, a third of a foot differential in our club lengths. I guess maybe we could go to DeChambeau 1 club length. I wonder, does he still do that? The DeChambeau 1 club length?
Yeah, he partnered with Avoda, which is a Jewish golf brand. And if you didn't know, they make from lob wedge to 7-iron scoring clubs. They're all the same length as a 7-iron. So it's basically so you don't have to change your ball position, and every swing feels the same. You just let the loft do its work.
That's interesting. I'm looking it up. A 7-iron typical length is 37.5 inches. Your driver was 46 inches, which is
Yeah.
about a little under 4 feet. We cut it down 3.5, so it's 42.5 inches. So his 7-iron's shorter than that. And it says every club is the length of 7-iron and weight of the 7-iron. The only
Yeah.
difference is the loft of the club. That's interesting.
Yeah. I like to compare it to Tommy Fleetwood's swing. He hits his lob wedge just like his irons.
Huh.
He has a low takeaway, almost like a putter. He hits everything like a putter. It's
Who,
basically he
Fleetwood
just
or DeChambeau?
Fleetwood,
Oh, wow.
and he just adds loft to the club to get it higher in the air.
No.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, yeah.
Or I mean, I want to kind of look up. So you're saying Fleetwood has a swing like a putter?
No, but his takeaway looks like a putter.
Oh, his takeaway looks like a
So
putter.
it's all the same. It's not like he's raising his hands higher up,
Oh,
depending on
interesting.
like if you were a long iron, you would bring it up faster, or a driver, you keep it low to the ground. He keeps
Right.
everything low to the ground.
Yeah. I was at the driving range. Speaking of bringing all this together, driving range, I mean, low to the ground. I tried to hit. There was a special on Channel 5 today with Tiger, and they were talking about his invention of the low stinger or his
Yeah.
use of it. And I was trying to hit it, and I may have to use that next time if we have a tight fairway and just trying to hit it low, like if I'm hitting underneath the tree, if I take an 8-iron underneath the tree and keep it low, just take like a hybrid or I mean my lowest club is a 6-iron. People probably laugh at that. I think most people I play with lowest club is like a 4-iron maybe. I don't really know anyone. Actually, no. Someone plays with a 3-iron who I just played with, but a
Okay,
low stinger.
okay. So continue that stinger thought.
Yeah, I mean the idea of a stinger. So I was at the Stanford driving range today. Yes, I went there on the way to get your crutches. Um, couldn't resist. You know you got a problem when you're stopping at driving ranges on the way to do errands. But I saw a coach there and I had some
Coach. Oh,
the old coach Larson, who coached the Stanford basketball team. You know him. And we were talking a little. We were talking about out of bounds plays for Duke, bring back Cooper Flag. They couldn't get the ball in bounds, and he said, "Yeah, try out that low stinger." And it's amazing. I tried it out, and I drove it out. If you ever been to Stanford driving range, there's that flag at the way back on the hill,
yeah.
and I just kept the low shot, and it bounced like I hit a driver low actually, and then I hit a hybrid low, and it just rolled way over the hill, and that's 200, 250, and just goes along the contour of the driving range. I think I may try that next time on Poplar. I go back nine. I get up early and go to the back nine. So on the 10th hole, it's kind of tight. Trees are on the left, and sometimes I'm lefty, so I often fade it over there. So I think I'm gonna go driver because I'm not really warmed up. Low stinger driver, low stinger hybrid. And let's just let it roll. Although on the PGA, those fairways are so firm, and when you're playing like a local course, they're not as firm. But
Yeah.
the other thing I worked on, Joe, was really hitting, trying not hit down on the ball, like try to like hit down on the back side of the ball instead of kind of hitting middle like a putter. Because you bring up the whole Tommy Fleetwood. So I wonder if Tommy Fleetwood still hits down on the ball or he hits like a putter, like right against it.
Yeah. Speaking of the low stinger, you basically, with the low stinger off the tee box, you kind of have to read the fairway almost like a green, especially if
Ah,
there's a lot of contour in it, because it's gonna roll so much, and maybe all the public courses that we play at aren't as firm as Augusta, obviously, but you still have to read it. Like if it's sloping to the right, you're going to have to hit a stinger to the left. Unlike a high drive, you could go to the right; it would just land very softly.
okay. I'm watching Tommy Fleetwood right now, by the way. He's explaining his shot. You're right. It is so shallow in the back
Yeah,
on his backswing. But
yeah,
he's like one of the best golfers. I wonder if that he's onto something.
yeah. His swing, his precision in his swing is really, really nice. So we're gonna transition back to the gear actually, and
Oh,
I'll break down some of the gear from the Masters. Some Nike athletes, including Scotty Scheffler and the champion Rory McIlroy, were both wearing the new Cherry Blossom colorway and new release from Nike. Rory was wearing the Nike Victory 4s in the Magnolia colorway, and Scotty Scheffler was wearing his somewhat signature shoe. He mostly designed it, the Nike Victory Pro 4. Surprisingly, the Pro is cheaper than the regular Victory 4, which is the one that Rory rocked. They also wore Nike's bright colors. Rory ended the day off with like a nice, like matte blue polo.
does he always wear the same color on the end? Is he like Tiger? Like he always wears blue on Sunday. Tiger used to wear red.
I don't think so. I mean, in his PGA championship when he was with Oakley and stuff, I remember this is like when he started his transformation from he used to be like a big chubby kid
Yeah,
into like a
he did.
ripped guy that he is now. But he was wearing a blue polo, so maybe I haven't noticed that as much as Tiger. And then back to his clubs, he actually TaylorMade. He's with TaylorMade as well as Scotty Scheffler, and they just released their new QI35 driver, which is supposed to be, they call it a forgiveness collaboration. But Rory and Scotty both did not use the QI35. They used the old version, the QI10, which I
Oh,
actually have right here.
oh, you got the QI10 on board. Nice. There it is. Big discount since the QI35 is out now.
Yeah, definitely. And I was surprised to see that Rory and Scotty were both using it because in some of TaylorMade's recent videos, they were talking about how much they like the look of the face. On this one, it kind of has like a navy blue black transition, which is kind of harsh to some people's eyes. And the QI35 has a nice like carbon look, very gray,
Uh,
kind of blends in with the grass.
mm.
That's at least what Tiger was talking about in like the team range session. But clearly it worked for Rory as he was one of the most consistent and furthest drivers in the tournament.
Yeah,
So,
Rory. I mean, Rory was unbelievable. I wonder how much he outdrives people by.
yeah. So, do you want to break down the 18th hole, playoff hole?
Sure, let's do it. I'm trying to see if I remember it. The playoff. So Rory had just missed I don't know, was it a 5-footer to win it?
4-footer.
3-footer? 4-footer?
Full.
With DeChambeau there. I mean, the irony of it, like Rory misses a 3 or 4-footer with DeChambeau a hole behind for the PGA
Yeah.
Championship, right? Or
Deja
was that the
vu
U.S.
for him.
Open? Yeah.
U.S.
So this
Open.
time DeChambeau's in the same hole, not a hole behind. He misses it. We fast forward. I don't know. So he's go to the scoring. make sure, I mean, enter a scorecard. Then he's got to go out on the golf cart and go back to AT&T. I'm curious. I think we fast forwarded because we had been, I forgot where we were, but we, did he shake DeChambeau's hand? I'd love to bring this up after the second hole. And then I wonder if DeChambeau said good luck because I just heard on some other people podcasts that supposedly Rory iced DeChambeau, didn't really talk to him the whole Sunday. So
Yeah. So I have an explanation for this. Rory's sports psychologist actually is icing, whatever you want to call it, is a strategy to actually keep him focused and calm down his nerves. Bryson kind of boasts with cockiness and likes to talk a lot about himself, similar to Noah Lyles, the U.S. track athlete. For Rory ignoring him and not giving into Bryson's kind of like show, it's a way to help his performance. And it was a recommendation from his sports psychologist. And after Bryson DeChambeau's round, in a post-round interview, he was asked if Rory talked to him at all, and he was like, he said it 3 times. He didn't talk to me. He didn't talk to me, and he didn't talk to me.
even on the 72nd hole, he didn't shake his hand. After
Yeah,
he must have. Like,
yeah, but
I'm gonna.
I guess he didn't say anything.
But maybe he said yeah. So then Rory goes. Okay, we're talking about the playoff. Rory goes back. So he goes to scores, enters it, whatever. Then gets on the golf cart, gets driven back to AT&T. Justin Rose had been warming up. I can't
Watching
remember
on the
who teed off.
range.
Who teed off first? Do you remember? I mean, and then how did they decide that? Is that interesting to see if all the listeners out there maybe they know like how do they decide who hits first on the 18th? Is it the person who posted the first score, posted first and got in, or is it the person who posted last, or is it a coin flip? Because I
And
mean,
it
would you
would be it would
would
be
you
coin
want to
flip.
go? Yeah, would you want to if you were on the sorry if you were doing the playoff hole, you're Rory. Would you want to go first or second driver? You want to go Rose first and see what he does. Maybe he hits in the woods and you go hybrid, or do you want to set the tone and go bust your driver out? What would you do?
Second, for sure, I would go second.
Second's a big advantage. I agree. What if the guy just crushes it? Then you're nervous and you're like, oh gosh. Or
But the
it's better to go second, I guess.
chances of him crushing it are way less than the chances of him hitting a okay, not so great shot.
Right. So they both hit a good drive, if I remember correctly. They
Yeah.
both got an approach shot. I think Rose goes first. Oh
Yes.
wait. Yeah, Rose
Yep.
goes first and hits it on the green, right?
Like
Maybe
8 feet
25 feet.
away.
How much?
8.
For Rose?
Yeah.
8 feet away? No, who was
Yeah.
I
And then
think
he.
Rory was closer, right?
Yep. Rory had a 5-foot putt.
And Rose had a 8 foot putt?
Rose was further. Yes.
I thought
You
it was
know.
more than that.
No, it wasn't. He 2-putted. If you don't know, he had a nice pitch shot that left him within 8 feet, and then he had a 2-putt for par, leaving the door wide open for Rory. And Rory's putter was horrible all day. Couldn't make putts. He actually ended his final round at 1 over, and he makes the putt. It almost slipped out, which is the crazy thing. But he makes the putt to win him the Masters, and it was a really thrilling, but at the same time predictable 18th hole playoff.
Oh, here it is. Rose, it says Rose knocked his approach to 15 feet, and he had just made to a birdie on 18, a 20-footer he rolled in for birdie to post that score. Man, he's got to be kicking himself. I mean, McIlroy redeemed himself. He had a gap wedge in on the regular in the 72nd hole and put it in the bunker. He pushed it out to the right, and then he stiffs the second time around into a 3 foot man. And actually, did you hear what McIlroy said to his caddy said to McIlroy to kind of calm him down
What do you
before
say?
this? He said, because Roy was pissed that he missed that putt to win it on the second hole, and he's like, the caddy's job, is psychological, trying to help his player, and he kind of helped Rory reset and said, "Hey, Rory, if someone told you on Monday, which is when they start practicing, of Monday this week that you'd be in the playoff to win the Master, you would take that, wouldn't you? And he's like, yeah, that's true. He's like, let's go get it now.
Yeah,
That's a
for
good
sure.
way. You're a caddy, Joe, and you gotta. Is that? I mean, that's a great way to get your player back on track because he's got to be just sad that he missed.
Yeah, I wonder if Harry Diamond's his sports psychologist.
Ooh, serves two purposes,
Hot,
caddy and sports psychologist.
hot take, hot take.
I wonder if he gets more. That would be a good commission then. Like, how much does the caddy make off the
10%.
10%? What's the Masters earning?
4 point.
0.2 million.
Yes.
Caddy makes 10%. Geez, what is that? Drop a zero. What is that? 10%.
420,000.
420,000. I wonder how many QI10 drivers I could buy for that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could even get into a private country club with that money.
Yeah. Do you want to break down what this means for golf, Rory's win?
Sure. I guess I think, I think a lot of fans were won over on Sunday. People say, without Tiger that golf, Tiger built up the sport, and now without Tiger, is it going to be able to sustain itself? Or the purse is going to be as big as TV? Are people going to watch? And I think this was so dramatic that I think the ramifications of golf are immense. I think it's going to be more viewers. Rory's a very likable guy, especially how he stood up for the PGA with Liv, and I think he's a very exciting person to watch because he's got power, he's got finesse, he's got that accent, of course,
Yeah.
from Ireland. So people love to hear him talk,
I
and
checked the
I think
urinals into my
what
mom's washing machine.
that's right. So I think it's gonna be great for golf. I think, and I think people wonder is now will Rory just roll off some because he's got the weight off his shoulders. What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think this does for golf?
I just think Rory's so relatable to humans. Uh, a professional golfer or like Tiger, when we see him, he's like rolling in 20-foot putts for eagle in like 2000 at Century, you know, in the playoff against I don't know his name, but Tiger's just so effortless and like a different breed. But the way Rory played in this tournament, like we could almost like feel ourselves in that position because we've all hit a nice drive and then butchered the approach shot and then had an amazing bunker shot and then just totally missed the putt. Like very, very relatable. And I think everybody that was rooting for Rory felt nervous in that moment when he was walking up to the 18th green in the playoff hole, which also makes him better for the media in promoting the PGA Tour. But I think the win meant more to us than another player winning it.
Yeah. I mean, he's now like in kind of like dreamland of golfers. He's one of six who've now has a career Grand Slam. Talk about relatability. I mean, Tiger's 6'1", I'm 5'7". I was like, I can't do what Tiger does. So I always use height for that reason. But Rory's only 5'9",
Yeah.
so and he bombs it over 300. I don't know if it was a Golf Digest episode. You talk about how he's like this scruffy guy and kind of pudgy. There's a Golf Digest or a Golf Channel where it showed Rory's gym and his workout. I mean, that guy's insane, and it kind of motivates me. I don't know if you watch. I'm started to do my own little workout. He's kind of motivated. If Rory, 5'9", can hit that far, so I've been adding. I'm on week 3 coming up. I started with 10 push-ups, modified, 10 push-ups a day, and I did 15 last week in my second week. I'm adding 5 every week. You're tempted to do more, but I'm just going, no. I'm going in 10 weeks. I will at 5. I'll be at 60. But so next week I'm at 20, or tomorrow I'm at 20. So my goal is to get a little buffer up top, get a little chest, and then I really have to work on my core and my legs. That's what Rory's core is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He has his pull-ups and his what I forget what they're called, Russian twists or something like that. Just insane. So he's very relatable. Back to the relatable part. Yeah. You're not too far off from what are you, 5'1"?
5'1", yeah.
So 8 more inches. There's no excuse for you not to hit Rory. I wonder what was Rory's average drive at the Masters that
Like
week.
it was 310.
Oh my
20.
gosh. I mean, I can barely hit it 250. I can't. I carry
You
like
can't hit
230.
250.
I carry at 230.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe, but if with the stinger now approach, maybe I can just use the fairway and let it roll.
Yeah. But I was just watching the drive, chip, and putt tournament at Augusta, which I'll be competing in next year. But I was just watching how some of these smaller guys, like my age, produce power. They're like driving it like 220. So it's pretty crazy.
220?
Yeah. I
They're
drive
driving as far as I can.
yeah.
Oh my gosh! I better start working. Get the maybe I need to add 10 push-ups per week.
To show how short I drive. I'm more of a chip and putt guy, not the drive. But to show just for reference, I carry my driver 180 yards and it rolls out to 200. So these guys are carrying their driver 220, which is a good 40 yards further than mine. Hopefully with the new the new QI the new QI10 that'll improve, but uh the future talent is definitely looking up to Rory
It's
as long
incredible.
drivers. Rory and Bryson.
Yeah, but as they say, you what? Drive for show, putt for dough. So you
Yeah.
need a short game to win it all,
Mhm.
which is what you're good at. That's why we chip back and forth. Great thing to do with your father and son. Chip back and forth. Then you don't have to go get your ball. So you don't even. We don't really have a big backyard. We literally. It's probably like. I don't know.
20.
So play little games, hit a garbage can, try to chip it high enough, get in the garbage can. Lots of little fun. You can work on your touch. So
Okay, well, we've come to the end of our first episode of the Overpar Express podcast. If you listen this long, we greatly appreciate you listening and hope you listen to more episodes. Please drop a comment of what you think and subscribe to the channel or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Dad, you want to say anything before we sign off?
that was great. Thanks for having me. It's fun to do this with you, and can't wait for the next podcast. Thanks, listeners, and thank you our sponsors, Titleist and TaylorMade QI.
YouTube, please don't. That's not copyright. See you guys.